I'm Aroha Harawira. I'm a product specialist at Serato Audio Research. Today I'm going to step you through some of the new features and developments of Scratch Live 2.0. So if you take a look at the screen over here, as you can see, like immediately when you look at Scratch Live 2.0, it looks a whole lot different. We've modified the graphic user interface, so there's new buttons, the meters are different. We've changed placements of some of the key features of Scratch Live. So that's probably like the first thing which is quite significantly different with Scratch Live. Another key thing that we have added is software effects, which is something that has been requested by users for quite some time. You've had hardware effects with the 57 and now with the Range 68, but now we have software effects, which if you go into the DJ effects tab right here, I'm just going to collapse it for a second so you can see it in its most simple mode, which we call performance mode. You can see that there are 2 effects processors, each with 3 effect slots. You select which effect you would like to use from these drop-down menus. Pretty simple. And you enable and disable the effects with the on button. Each of the effect slots has 1 knob, and each of these knobs we call the super knob. So that controls the wet and dry amount of the effect. Now you can step further into the effects and go into advanced mode if we just click here. And as you can see, we have multiple parameters which are available for each of the different effects. So depending on which effect you have selected, it's going to vary what you can actually adjust. Now you can link, as I've done here, or unlink each of these effects in the way that you have adjusted them to map to the super knob. So, the super knob right now is only controlling depth because I've only got depth linked to the super knob. If I have feedback here as well, now it's linking all 3 parameters. Now we can step even further into DJ effects by creating macro mappings for each of the parameter controls. So if we go into edit, you can see here now that each of the parameter knobs have like a green circle around them. And what you can do is create a start and end point on a knob so that it's going to say start from here on the super knob, and then I have an end point that I assign, and like so. And now when I use the super knob, I have to link it. When I use the super knob, it's only going to adjust a certain amount. The macro mappings, as you can see there. So that's the first new feature of Scratch Live. The second new feature, new development we've added is 3 decks for the Rain SL3. We promised it last year when we released the SL3 that 3 decks was going to be coming. Well, it's come, and you can now use the auxiliary 1 and 2 inputs and auxiliary 1 and 2 outputs to connect a third turntable or CDJ. As well as that, we have the new Range 68 mixer, which allows for 3 and 4 deck mixing. So you've actually got 4 channels and 4 decks available to you. Another key feature which we've added, really a design thing, is we have 2 new display modes. So you've still got your traditional modes, like right now we're looking at horizontal mode, but this is actually available for you to choose from these buttons right here on the screen. So it's vertical, there's horizontal, as per usual. But the first new display mode that we've added is this one here. Like right now it's on 4 decks because we're connected to the Range 68, but we have a really simple layout, a very simplified deck arrangement. You don't have any cues, you don't have any loops, it's as simple as it gets. So this is quite cool for people who just don't want all the fuss. They're kind of like, I want a better view of my library. I don't want all those other buttons. I just want a simple layout. Simplify it for me. The second new view that we have added is called stacked mode. Now what stacked mode is I guess it kind of replicates what a DAW workstation type software would look like. So you've got the waveforms one atop another, the decks one atop another, and this really opens up the opportunity for mixing and keeping everything in time if you're using multi-decks. Like for 2 decks, you know, you're fine. But if you want to use 4 decks, it's going to get a whole lot more complicated. So, as you can see here, we now have 4 decks available. Your playhead still sits in the middle with the white line, and that is stacked mode. You can also simplify the way that stacked mode looks or expands by using this tab here. So now you can see all your cues, your loops, all of your transport controls expand out, or you can collapse them, and then you've got a greater view of your library. Another really cool new kind of cosmetic feature, I would say, I'm just going to put this back into vertical mode. A cosmetic feature is we have new library view modes which add album art to your library view, which means that, you know, if you want to browse by album art, if you want to sort your music out by album art, kind of like you would if you were looking through a record bag, you have these options available to you. The first option is simple mode. At the moment, on this particular crate, we don't have a hell of a lot of album art, or if any, but as you can see here, this square represents where a piece of album art should be. As well as the simple mode, you can go into 2 different grid modes. The first grid mode places the album art here and then has the text to the right side of the screen, and the second grid mode has the album art above with the text below. You can also change the size of your album art and the font and the setup screen in library. As you can see here, album art size. So I could like drag that right down if I want to, you know, maximize my space. And as you can see, it's shrunk the non-existent album art. Another new feature we've added is advanced file management options. This is a really heavily requested advancement as well, I guess you could say. This means that you can create smart crates. As you can see down here, we've got like your normal crates button, the brown one. We also have the blue smart crates button. So this means that if you wanted to create a crate which live updates itself according to pre-assigned rules that you set, it's as simple as clicking the smart crates button. You've got add rules. So say for example, this is someone else's computer, so I'm stabbing in the dark here. Hopefully this rule applies. I'm going to say I want to have all my dubstep songs from 2009 added to my library. So I go genre, then I select is, and then I type in dubstep. I'm just going to take caps lock off. I want to add a new rule. I say year is 2009. And then I save that smart crate. It automatically creates a smart crate here, which I can rename. So I can say dubstep. And everything that, looks like there's a lot of things in here. Everything that applies to that rule will automatically go in the dubstep crate, and it will live update every time I add new tracks which you know, fit that criteria that I have set. There's one last thing which we've added, and that is Serato playlists. So this allows users to upload their sets to the Serato.com website for fans and other users to check out. It's also really cool because it means that if you have been using whitelabel.net files downloaded from whitelabel.net, there will be an automatic link that links to the location of that file, so users can go and download that file for free if they're a Serato user. To get that happening, we need to go into the setup screen. We go into plugins. You can see in the plugins tab now we have all these different options which we can turn on and off. So again, we're really letting you customize the whole experience, so you don't have anything turned on that you don't want there. So you don't want the SP6 sample play, you turn it off. You don't want DJ effects, you turn it off, or you turn it on. And so with Serato playlists, it's already enabled by default.